Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone. So for today, I'm going to discuss the cyber terrorism. Before I start on discussing cyber terrorism and lahat ng nakailalim sa kanya, the first one is let's discuss the objectives. So at the end of this discussion, the student should, number one, learn and define cyber terrorism. Number 2, know the types of cyber terrorism and example of cyber terrorism. Number 3, determine the effect of cyber terrorism in our environment. Number 4, know the disadvantage of cyber terrorism. And last one is number 5, categorize the different types of cyber terrorism according to CRS or Congressional Research Services. So let's start. First, let's describe or let's define cyber terrorism. Cyber terrorism, it says here that it involves hacking into government or private servers to steal sensitive data or divert funds to support terrorists or terrorist activities. Sinasabi lang po dito na cyber terrorism involves hacking. It is a typical type of hacking. It hacks into the government or into a private person servers to steal some documents, to steal money. Ito yung mga karaniwan na nakikita natin na madalas na nagte-text sa mga cellphone natin. So be careful sa mga pinipindot natin. So another meaning of cyber terrorism according to our PPT is it is also known as digital terrorism. Refers to disruptive attacks by recognized terrorist organizations targeting computer system with the goal of causing fear, panic, or physical disruption to the information system. Sinasabi lang dito na we all know what is terrorism. Terrorism is an act of attacking. We all know that because here in the Philippines, we also have some terrorists and in the other country also. Terrorism, but the approach of cyber terrorism it's difficult or is different from the traditional terrorism because it uses the computer system. So cyber terrorism is known as digital terrorism. And now we know the cyber terrorism, which is the act. So now let's discuss the cyber terrorist. Cyber terrorist, it is the criminal or a criminal who uses the internet and computer technology to cause fear and disruption to someone else. We all know now that cyber terrorism is a crime, is an act itself. So when we say cyber terrorist, it is the one who performed the act, the one who performed the terrorism, the cyber terrorism with the use of our computer. So now, let's move on. Aside from the meaning and the definition of cyber terrorism and cyber terrorist, we're going now to discuss the 3 levels of cyber terrorism. Yeah, you heard it right. We have 3 levels of cyber terrorism. The first one is so let's define. The first one is simple and structured. Simple and structured. It is a method who doesn't do much because it can carry out as much as information. It is also a capability to conduct individual system using tools created by someone else. From the word itself, simple, it is the type of hacking in a simple way. Kasi sabi nga, hindi niya kayang kumuha ng mga malalaking data kasi ginagamit lang siya sa mga simpleng pagkuha, pag-hack lang ng mga password, pag-open lang ng mga Facebook account, yung mga ganun lang, hindi pa siya kumukuha ng too much details, too much information about the target. The next one is the advanced structured. So when we say advanced structured, it is the method that has multiple system and it has more control freedom and creativity towards the attack. Unlike the simple unstructured, advanced structured is a different approach or is a different types or different types of cyber terrorism. It says here that advanced structured has uses multiple system. Sinasabi lang dito na gumagamit na siya ngayon na maraming sistema para makontrol, para makomit yung act, magawa yung crime, gumagamit na siya ng iba't ibang sistema ngayon na makakatulong sa kanya or makakatulong sa terrorist or sa attacker natin. The third one is the complex coordinated. This method has intense hacking tools and is highly capable of target analysis, command, control, and learning capability. So, our third level is the complex coordinated. It's different sa simple, sa advanced, at sa kanya. Kasi yung method na to, has intense hacking tools. Gumagamit na siya ng mga tools for big commission of the offense na to. Parang pangmalakihan na to kasi meron na siyang mga tools na ginagamit. At saka, meron din siyang command control or yung learning capability ng isang tao is ginagamit na din talaga dito. So, ngayon, meron tayong tatlong level. The first one is the simple and structured. The second one is the advanced structured. And the third one is complex coordinated. Kung ile-level natin siya into 3, ang magpapol sa ating number 1 is the simple and structured, which is uses simple hacking to someone's data. Number 2 is the advanced structured, which has used multiple system to conduct the action naman. The third one is the complex coordinated. Ito na yung has high intense. Ito na yung gumagamit ng mga hacking tools ng mga malalaking ganon para makomit naman ngayon yung offenses. So, next one, the example of cyber terrorism. It say here that since cyber terrorism does not involve the actual use of physical violence to inflict harm on innocent, most individuals are unaware of what it means and how dangerous it can be. 'Di ba? Parang hindi nga natin kasi siya nakikita, hindi siya nagkukos sa atin ng physical, hindi niya tayo nasasaktan. Parang yung tira niya sa atin is patalikod. Tutira siya ng patalikod, hindi natin siya makikita kasi it uses the internet without the knowledge, without our knowledge. So, eto yung mga examples. We have here the examples. The first one is the introductions of viruses to vulnerable data networks. Hindi natin namamalaya na yung mga link na napapasend pala sa atin is mga viruses na pala yun. So, pag napindot natin yun, there's a high possibility na makukuha na mismo, makukuha na nung may kanya or nung gumawa ng link na yun, yung information about sa atin. The next one is the hacking of servers to disrupt communication and steal sensitive information. Sabi dito si cyber terrorism nga, ginagamit nga niya yung hacking. It uses hacking of servers para makuha yung mga information, especially those sensitive information. For example, may group of hackers, tinatry nila ngayong ipasok yung jail natin. So, once na napasok nila, nakuha nila yung mga information ng ating mga PDL, na which is confidential, tapos na ilabas nila, that involves of hacking na din. The third one is defacing websites and making them inaccessible to the public, thereby causing inconvenience and financial losses. It says here that gumagawa sila ng mga website na hindi naman tayo ngayon nakakapasok. Kunwari, yung mga sa bank account natin, yung ginagamit natin, na-hack na pala siya, hindi natin siya ngayon magamit. Nagkakos siya ng financial losses kasi hindi natin pala alam, nakuha na yung laman nung bank account, nung pera natin sa bangko. The fourth one is hacking communication platforms to intercept or stop communication and make terror threats using the internet. Sinasabi lang dito na it is a platform na nagki-create ng threats using the internet. Kasi marami mas napapansin to ng mga taong sa mga kumpanya, yung mga taong may mga bank account, bank number, kasi sila yung madalas makaranas ng ganito. So the people, some of the people or half of the people doesn't have an idea what cyber terrorism is. Last one is attack on financial institution to transfer money and can use terror. Sabi nga dito, 'di ba? Kanina katulad ng mga example ko, gumagamit siya it is a hacking. Pag pinasok ka sa bangko, sa isang bangko, pinasok yung isang bangko, ang ibig sabihin na nun is nakuha na yung pera mo, at yung perang makukuha nila is pwede nila yung gamitin pang support sa mga terorista, the organization of terrorism, na iba naman yung types ng pag-atake nila. Okay, the next one, effects of cyber terrorism in our environment. Tulad ng sabi ko, wala tayong knowledge, we don't have knowledge about this, so hindi natin namamalayan na malaki na pala yung epekto ng cyber terrorism sa environment natin, especially to those who experience this type of crime. Number one, sabi dito is, one of the effect is the financial damage, and it also not just affect one person, but a whole amount of population of people at one time. Parang kunwari, sa isang bangko, napasok, sa isang kumpanya, napasok yung system nila, nakuha yung mga data nila, yung mga pera nila. Hindi porket nakuhanan yun, yung taong may kanya lang mismo, yung maaapektuhan. Pati yung amount of people na nagtatrabaho sa kumpanyang yun, pwede maapektuhan, kasi pwedeng yung pera nila is nakalagay din doon, pwedeng nakatago din dun sa kumpanyang yun, so pwede rin silang nawawalan din sila. The next one is affect the economy so much it can weak one country, making its defense system not as strong to other terrorist attack. Parang sinasabi lang dito na naapektuhan yung ekonomiya natin, kasi through this crime or through cyber terrorism, humihina tayo ngayon, humihina yung bansa natin, kasi hindi natin kayang depensahan yung pag-atake ng mga terorista gumagamit ng internet, gumagamit ng ating computer. Next topic is the disadvantage of cyber terrorism. The first, we have 6 disadvantage. The first one is the national security risk. It can pose a threat to critical infrastructure and national security. Cyber terrorism, pwede siyang magbigay ng threat sa ating national security, kasi naapektuhan din ito yung mga nangyayari sa paligid natin. Pag naapektuhan, pag nakuha niya ng data yung isa, especially pag may kinalaman sa bansa natin yung nakuhang data, pwede yung maapektuhan. The number 2 is financial losses. Alam naman natin, financial losses, sa kanina ko pa binabanggit, pwede siyang makakuha ng pera, nawawalan tayo ng pera pag napasok na tayo ng mga ganitong sistema. Number 3 is data loss. Once na napasok tayo, na-hack tayo, pwede nilang kuhanin yung data natin, and pwede na rin nating hindi yon ma-enter. Sinasabi dito na it can lead to the loss of sensitive personal data. Madaming pwede mawalan. Sa company man, sa personal mo man, pwede ka mawalan ng data. The fourth one is the reputation damage. It says here that it can damage an organization reputation and can lead to a loss of trust among customer. Kunwari sa isang kumpanya na hack sila, pwedeng maapektuhan yun, pwedeng masira yung reputation nila sa mga ka-group nila, ka-partner, mga partner companies nila, naapektuhan din sila. Pwedeng sa kanila isisi, maaapektuhan yung reputation nila ngayon. The fifth one is the psychological impact. Sinabi ko na kanina, cyber terrorism is not just affecting our physical. Hindi natin siya masyado nakikita. Hindi talaga natin siya nakikita sa physical. It affect our emotional, our mental. Yun yung in-effect niya. So, when it says psychological impact, it can have a psychological impact on victims, leading to a sense of vulnerability and mistrust in digital interaction. Sinasabi lang pwedeng mag-cause ng trauma sa someone na naka-experience ng hacking or ng cyber terrorism na yan. Last part is the physical damage and loss and physical damage and loss of life. Sinasabi lang dito, lead to physical damage and even lost life. Pwede siya makakuha ng buhay kasi pag na-stress, naisip, ang daming iisipin, pwede siyang mag-cause ng stress, depression to someone which can lead them to death. For our last topic is the different types of cyberterrorism according to Congressional Research Service or the CRS. The first one is cyber terrorists. It is that our state-sponsored or non-sponsored actors who use cyber attack to achieve their objectives. Kanina ko pa sinasabi sa cyber terrorists. Ito daw yung mga actors, yung mga nagpe-perform ng cyber attack, cyber terrorism para ma-achieve yung objective nila, yung gusto nilang makuha within na pagpo-propose or pag-conduct ng act na yon. Number 2 is the cyber spies or cyber spies. Mga cyber spies natin, sinasabi lang dito na it's still classified or proprietary information from governments or private corporation to gain strategic, security, financial, or political advantage. Kunwari, yung kalabang kumpanya, napasok niya ngayon yung system nila, makukuha niya ngayon yung mga nalalaman, information about this company na pwede nilang gamitin. Pwede nilang gamitin yung pwede yung maging strategic way to them para mas gumanda yung kumpanya nila at mahigitan nila yung company pinagawa nila ng crime. The third one is the cyber thieves. Cyber thieves, it engage in illegal cyber attacks for monetary gain. An example of this is a organization or individual who access a system to steal and sell credit card number. Ito yung for monetary gain. Meron kang gustong makuha. Illegal siya na meron kang gustong makuha. The fourth one is the cyber warriors. Cyber warriors are agents or quasi-agents of non-state who develop capabilities and undertake cyber attacks to support the country's strategic objectives. Ina-undertake daw ng mga cyber warriors natin yung mga cyber attack para masuportahan yung country specific strategic objectives when it comes sa ating cyber terrorism. The last one is the cyber activist. When we say cyber activist, it performs cyber attack for pleasure or philosophical, political, or other non-monetary reasons. Sila yung mga sila yung mga person na nagpa-perform ng cyber attack para sa pleasure nila, pleasure ng philosophical nila, sa political nila, and other reason then. Ito yung talagang ginagawa nila yung crime na to kasi parang it gives them pleasure pag ginagawa nila yon. So that's the end of my discussion, and before I will end this video, I'm going to leave you a Bible verse from Psalm 23 verse 4. Even though I walk through the darkness valley, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. So, I hope you were able to learn about my topic, cybercrime, and I hope nakuha nyo lahat ng nasa objectives natin, natutunan nyo, ay nakagain kayo ng knowledge. So, thank you for listening.